What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebris, and today we're going to talk about Hagaboda, the holiday city. Or at least, we're going to talk about the state of holidays in Generation Zero, and what I think would be an awesome plan for the future of holiday events in our little Swedish countryside machine invasion simulator. This year, for no reason in particular, I'm finding myself missing having some sort of GZ Christmas event to look forward to. We've never really had a proper Christmas event in the past, instead welcoming in the new year with unique clothing to loot for machines and fun firework boxes alongside the iconic Semla. And I was feeling kinda similar to this around the Halloween event this year too. It would be pretty awesome to have unique holiday events in Generation Zero in a way that is much more unique and experience-based rather than just purely loot-based events like what we've had in the past. And so I've been thinking pretty hard lately on how we could see holidays in GZ. And what better day to talk about it than Christmas Day itself? But before we get into the discussion here, I just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas today. Hopefully y'all are safe, happy, and have awesome holidays ahead of you. Whether you're a big part of our community or just passing by, you're an incredible part of this journey in Generation Zero, and I want to wish you all the absolute very best as we head into 2022 here. Now, for the topic of holidays, this year we won't be seeing the typical New Year's event, as that wasn't working properly on all versions of the game. So over the holidays, our times in Sweden will be much of the same, either grinding loot, machines, or missions, or whatever else you're doing in Generation Zero. But with that also comes the opportunity to start doing things in a much more meaningful way here in Generation Zero moving forwards, abandoning the old events for new ones that will offer new gameplay opportunities and experiences for us to get into. And with that comes the idea of a holiday city. A location we could go to that would be dressed up festively, offer maybe some sort of a machine invasion defense mission with fun pieces of interaction, and maybe even offer some fun limited time loot and rewards at the end. So there's the elevator pitch. Let's get into the details of these ideas that I have in mind. And first off is having us get started with a message from Anita. Maybe they would have some crazy plan to attract new resistance members to a base near Hagaboda, but to do that, they would first need it cleared of machines and maybe made a bit more inviting and welcoming. Cue us having to head to Hagaboda and fight a few large groups of machines that spawn in various parts of the city and its outskirts. Hagaboda is the second largest city in the game, with quite a few districts to it, so there is a lot of room for us to go around clearing out machines before we have to get started. That way, there's an adequate challenge. Maybe even make the machines Apocalypse class for some extra fun here. This would be primarily an end-game activity, gated to after completing the main game, so that it doesn't mess with any sort of story flow. Of course, you maybe wouldn't have to have Alpine Unrest, cause I think making a DLC barrier to this holiday event would suck. So this canonically would be happening after claiming the resistance base off at Tylovden. Normally, I don't ask for plot-related stuff. I'd rather leave that to the creators to write for us along the way. But this time, I think having something as an event that also ushers in the next year with more resistance stuff and things to look forward to would be a perfect way to carry momentum over a holiday period off for the team. After clearing out machines, you'd have to set about interacting with each house, dressing them up with candlelights and traditional Swedish Christmas decorations. Then, build some small defenses around the city. Overturn cars as destructibles, and maybe fertilizer bags and wooden pallets from local shops and industrial buildings in the area, alongside some similar barriers to what we set up in Alpine Unrest for some high and low set pieces. Then, once you're done with the decorations and the defenses, you'd have a small countdown till you'd have to clear out waves of machines invading from all sides. Again, this would be a pretty hard mission, so like 5 waves of apocalypse machines or something like that would be pretty spicy to see. Harvesters, tanks, like the whole 9 yards. Now, endgame players have so much power at our disposal, we need something to use it on, so a good tough set of waves would be a nice way of beefing up the mission here. While fighting through these waves, you maybe would have the option to head into the houses and eat small festive meals set up on the kitchen tables. Unlike Semla, this wouldn't be a held item, but instead you would just interact with it to get a small amount of health back. It'd be a fun way of fighting through the machine waves, heading into houses to recover lost health, and then heading back out to fight amongst all the chaos. During the last stream, Pontus, the community manager, was maybe hungry or something, but we talked about Christmas food from Sweden for a good, 10 minutes. There are tons of classic Swedish festive foods we could see put out on the tables, and it would maybe be a fun project for the art team. Good-looking, well-modeled food in video games is always awesome to see, and with everything the team's done so far art-wise over the years, some small plates of really nice-looking food would be something that I think they could pull off in spades. Currently, the food we have on the tables is very much from before launch, so seeing something small like that addressed as a long-time player would actually be kind of refreshing, in the same way the Semla were when they were introduced. Then afterwards, as a reward, we'd maybe get a Christmas tree unlocked to build at our base back at Tylovden, a few of the firework boxes, and maybe even something wild like a craftable schematic for experimental explosive Flechette 762 rounds that's kinda similar to the experimental shotgun's ammo, but instead with full auto capabilities. Or, even better, some sort of gun like the APS underwater rifle invented by the Soviet Union, or the Steyr ACR. Something like that would be pretty dirt nasty for attacking components, even if they didn't have the explosive ammo. I'm kind of on an EXP shoddy kick lately, so maybe that's why I'm going with flechette guns here, but you get my point probably. Some sort of beefy rewards. Rewards are always best designed by the devs, but still, anything along those lines of base buildables, revisiting older rewards, and maybe newer craftables or weapons all in combination would be sick to see in GZ's long run. Full rewards for a full event kind of thing. I think something big like this would be wild, and be a bit of a free taste of what Alpine Unrest is like. Carrying a sick event with tons of momentum into the next year, lining up people's attention and interest for more things to follow. Lately, my wishes are getting kinda out of scale with the GZ team, at least at the inception of Generation Zero, but that's also something I'm kind of okay with here. Aim for the moon and land in the stars kind of deal, I guess, as we go along here. So there you have it, a kind of bombastic request for a big holiday event with big rewards. So before we clear up and turn things over to the new year, I want to know, what do you think of holidays in Generation Zero? Do you think it's something we need, big events and such, or do you think that it doesn't quite fit right into the GZ atmosphere? I can see both sides of the fence, really, but as usual, my opinion is that GZ always kind of needs something to prove that it's alive. And be it events, updates, DLCs, expansions, or even just quality of life bug fixes, any of it is a good thing here to keep GZ continuously enjoyable for everyone. So with that, I'm gonna stop my sales pitch right here and wrap up for the year. What a crazy end, too. We've blitzed past 12,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank you all enough for your support, of my support for Generation Zero over the years. So, thank you, my dudes. Be safe, stay happy, and I will see you all next year. Until then, peace out, my dudes.